you are enough. Um, as a millennial, I am 35 years old, and I was raised in a time where people really linked together their identity with what they did. And that's a big reason why people consider or think that they are not enough. There was a time where I was working with a project manager, and we were talking about this event I wanted to throw in Southern California, and it was gonna be it was a retreat. It was gonna be fantastic. She was adding some things to add into the retreat, into my launch. Actually, she was telling me I should do a card game, create a card game, and I was all on board. But I mean, her asking me to do that made me feel a little bit like, girl, I feel like I've done enough. Like, why are you trying to make me do more? And then she was telling me I should do this retreat in another country. Not that specific retreat, but another retreat outside the country, because she knows, she just was reading in between lines. She's like, you've been to these places multiple times, you know the lay of the land, you have connections out there, and you want to build this audience and cultivate some really cool experiences for them. Why not do that? And I said to her, I don't think I'm enough yet. Here's the reason I said that. I wrote my first book, but it was not done to a standard. And as we know, like, the standard was set by a bunch of um, people working together with the CIA just to create a standard for writing. Maybe we all didn't know that, but the standard was created by the CIA, and people were pumping out books and literature that fit that standard. And I felt like my book did not fit that standard, and I didn't fully publish it yet because I felt that way and I wanted to redo it. Now I am feeling differently. The reason being, even she said this. She's like, it's not that you're not enough. You kind of got to get that out of your head. And she was right. But the reason she was right, we weren't able to discuss in that project management session. The reason she was absolutely right is because it wasn't that I wasn't enough. It was that I was not clear enough on my goals. I did not realize how big of a life I wanted versus everyone else. I wasn't really comparing myself in that way. I was more so thinking that everyone who just needed, the basics, would eventually progress into wanting the level of things that I desired. And so I was pretty much saying they weren't enough. And it was because I felt like I wasn't enough. There was a projection moment. The thing about it is, you can always get clear on what you want. If you want a big life, you just need to write out all the things that you want. Like, for instance, how many bank accounts would you need to have that big life? Would you want a bill bank account, an emergency fund bank account? Would you want an investment portfolio? Would you need real estate in different areas of the world? What do you want? Because you have to take responsibility for that. It's not that you're not enough, it's that you're not clear. You need to know what you need to do. And I'm just gonna say it one more time because I see people have entered. Again, it's not that you're not enough, it's that you can't equate being enough with what you do, especially if you haven't gotten clear on what you want out of life to know what you need to do to be doing the things that you need to do. So again, it's not that you're not enough. Everybody is enough. Everyone can figure out a way to get where they want to be as soon as they figure out where they want to be. And I think that is so important to remind ourselves and to tell everyone you know. Because there was a time where I felt shame for wanting a big life. And I realized it came from my childhood. It's not anything that I regret, really. I just felt like, in comparison, I was doing too much. And it's weird when you have that survivor's remorse and you feel like everyone else needs to, I felt like everyone else needed to kind of get their priorities in order so that we could live a good life together. And the next thing is, know your why. Not because you need to know why you want those goals. You can go through this journey of self discovery and the journey of working through that shame of feeling like maybe I shouldn't want this. Maybe that is too much. But you really don't have to. You can actually think past all of that. You can think past all of that grief. And it's not about, there was an analogy. Someone went through a major blackout and all the stuff in their freezer went bad. And when the lights came back on, they were able to get all the stuff out of their freezer, throw it away, and replace it. But thinking past that isn't gonna change the fact that there was a blackout. Sometimes you still need to address why there was a blackout so it doesn't happen again. So you don't keep repeating cycles. Of course. But if the place that you're in where you're repeating the cycles is not safe, you need to get out of there. You need to get far away and know that you are enough to rebuild your social network, your skills, your needs overall, if we're basing this off the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And you are able to rebuild your foundation, then you will know exactly what to do. As soon as you set those goals, as soon as you set those understandings and get clear on where you want to go, it'll be way easier to get where you want to go. So never consider yourself not enough if you haven't even figured out what you want out of life, if you haven't even stopped shaming yourself for wanting things out of life. And don't think because you're a specific race or because you come from a specific background, whether it's low income or high income, that you don't deserve things. It doesn't make sense. If you're not actively violating people or breaking the law, reconsider your thoughts, your terrible thoughts of yourself. If you've done something in the past, I was raised Catholic, go repent, get it out your system. I don't know how bad the things that some people have done are, but there's always a way to get your soul back on track, if that makes sense. And I'm not even religious at this time, at this point in my life. I just believe in the ability to cleanse yourself of old habits, especially if you were raised incorrectly. That's not your fault. And my sister told me something that she witnessed when she was getting her hair done in Buffalo, New York. There were parents that they felt disrespected by their child. She was maybe 5 years old. And so they whooped her for a good hour. And maybe that time was exaggerated because my sister tends to exaggerate sometimes. But that little girl is gonna have to figure some stuff out, especially after she finishes these last few years with those parents. And I can only imagine what other people have been through in their upbringings. And you deserve to be supported, you deserve to be loved, you deserve to be understood, and you deserve success. You are enough. You just need to get clear on your goals and go for it to the best of your ability. That is what I came here to say.